chamber meeting. We're going to go around and do our introductions. Keep it, your little elevator speech, say who you are. And we'll start with, do you have to start here? Yeah, why not?
Good morning, my name is Alex Cerna. I'm the new assistant branch manager at Northfield Bank.
Yay.
Good morning, Jim Coyle with Gateway Chamber.
Good morning, Robert from OSI Technology, premier Avaya technology partner, and also HP Aruba, which is the leading provider of access points. And the reason I'm here today is we'd like to start to introduce the concept of smart cities. Thank you.
Good morning, Karina Ramos, Operations Manager of the Gateway Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Magdalena, Sales Manager of the Holiday Inn in Clark.
Hi, everyone. Lori Hyman. I work with Magdalena. I'm the Director of Sales at the Holiday Inn Clark. Welcome.
Good morning, Jacqueline Jenkins, Morning Star Church. Happy Easter to everyone. We invite you out for service, 8 a.m. or 11 a.m. And I'm the Director of Community Relations.
Good morning, Bill Degnan, Linden High School business teacher.
Hi, good morning. June Lazaro, Primerica. We help people make and save money, and you still have time to do your 2017 IRA. See me.
Good morning, everyone. Ed Witt. I'm the assistant manager with Columbia Bank in Linden.
Good morning, Virginia Malik with Shop.com. I help people to convert their spending into earnings while they're shopping.
Good morning, Dennis Purvis, Director, Linden Public Library.
Melissa Honahan with a Newark private school called Cristo Rey Newark.
Good morning, all. John Ruiz with Safari Solutions. We're a voice and data company.
Good morning, Scott Ferguson, Vice President Sales of On the Mark Payments, based out of Clark, New Jersey. Thank you.
Good morning, Megan DeRose, Office Manager at Family Chiropractic of Clark.
Good morning, Phyllis Dunlop, Development Manager of Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children of Union County.
Good morning, I'm Darla Totolo. I'm with Paraco Gas, and we are a supplier of propane gas.
Good morning, Mary Phillips from Phillips 66 Bayway Refinery, Community Relations.
Lois Bass, Infinium, Community Relations Coordinator.
Hi everyone, Paula Figueroa Vega from the Amen Foundation. We support individuals in recovery. I'm the Director of Scholarship Programs.
Good morning, Nancy Sadlon, Phillips 66 Bayway Refiner, Manager of Public Affairs.
Good morning, Mary Robinson, Executive Director and Founder of Imagine, a Center for Coping with Loss, a free year-round children's grief support center for children coping with loss due to death or illness.
Good morning, greetings. Michael Miller, Community Development Officer, UC-EDC.
Good morning, Tiffany Johnson, Linden resident, Primerica, and real estate investor.
Morning, everyone. Dave Hart, the Police Chief.
Morning, Chris Gunther, Linden Police Department. I'm the Public Information Officer in Traffic Bureau Command.
Good morning, I'm Joe DeLeon, the Fire Department, and I'm with them.
Good morning, everyone. Vivian Colon. I'm a Director of Sales over at the Homewood Suites Hotel in Cranford, New Jersey.
Morning, everyone. Devesh Singh, General Manager at Kenilworth Hotel.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Isaiah Menendez from Scaldino Basements. I'm the operations manager. We focus on basement waterproofing and foundation repairs.
Good morning, everyone. Chuck Seuss. I'm the marketing manager for Jersey Lanes in Linden and also Parkway Lanes in Elmwood Park, and hope we have a great meeting.
Deborah Anderson, Future Waste Marketing. We do appointment setting.
Steve Flood, Scomage, technology for your business, software and custom solutions. If you need to work with Amazon, or you would need to compete with Amazon, or you'd like to be Amazon, give us a call.
Derek Gunnaratney with Dale Carnegie Training.
Good morning, everyone. Glenn Zool, 2K Printing and Promotions in Roselle Park.
Good morning, everybody. Paul Abramson from SolarCal. We are brokers and advisors for commercial solar. Thank you.
Hi, Gail Driscoll, Public Affairs Specialist, but I also want to draw, one more.
Greg Grosso, Linden Board of Education, Supervisor for Social Studies and Business.
Good morning, Alan Tennant, Edward Jones, understanding what's important to each individual and helping them achieve their financial goals.
All right. Okay. You're welcome. I want to draw your attention to a flyer on your table. It's a save the date. We're having a Metro Women's Leadership Summit on June 1st. So invite you to mark your calendar, tell any women that you know all about it. It will be held in Newark at the Marriott Hotel, and we're looking forward to a phenomenal event.
Good morning, Kathleen Burke with A&M Industrial. We're a leading family-owned industrial distribution since 1954. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Tina Renna, publisher of Life in Linden and 20 other direct mail community newspapers.
Kim Guadagno, former Lieutenant Governor of the state of New Jersey.
Good morning, Barbara Laspinosa with First Integrity Title. If you're looking to buy a home or refinance your home, come see me. Thank you.
Morning, Mike Pace, General Manager at Blue Apron.
Hi, good morning, Alex Laspinoso, Director of the Linden Economic Development Corporation.
Peter Brown, Councilman Brown, Third Ward.
Patrick Gargano, Sales and Consumer and Business with Verizon Wireless.
Good morning, Felipe Cabezas, broker owner of Business Realty.
Rebecca Tutoli, confidential aide to the mayor, and I think maybe he should host more of these meetings.
Good morning, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden. Thank you all for coming.
Good morning, Linda Hunley, LJ Engraving and Signs, Operation Manager and Treasurer of the Chamber.
Good morning, Janet Miller, Cox Printers and Digital Media, small family-owned business here in Linden, New Jersey. And Chairperson of the Linden Chamber.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to all. Angie Serkis from Northfield Bank. And Vice Chair of this chamber.
It's funny. Okay, we're gonna do the city reports, and then we're gonna switch it up a little bit for today. So city report, Mayor, do you have anything you want to start off with?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, hold on, I'm sorry, I didn't approve the minutes. I'm sorry.
I make a motion.
Did everyone get a chance to read the minutes from last month? Motion to approve? Second? All approved, all in favor? Anyone opposed? Minutes are approved, thank you very much. Treasurer's report, Linda?
Treasurer's report, we have $17,428.58. Yay, go Linden.
Yes, thank you. Okay, sorry, now, city report, Mayor?
Yes, we have two major developments that are going to be, we're going to have groundbreaking for in May. That is Capadaglia Phase 2 on Wood Avenue. The groundbreaking will be the first week of May. As you all know, the first Capadaglia building, which was is 100% occupied now. It's been for lease for over a year now. 176 units. It's pretty much looks like a box, but the second building, we've held them to a higher architectural standard, and it's going to be a very, very nice looking building. I would have brought a picture had I known we had so many people coming this morning. But again, that building is going to have retail below and 176 units above. So we're looking forward to that groundbreaking. We're looking forward to its completion. We know that he's not having any difficulty renting us his units. We have the millennial crowd who are coming in, and they're traveling into New York, so he's not having any difficulty at all renting the property out. The other good thing about this property, I think, in the whole building is the first one he built. He has there's only one child in the building. I mean, well, not to say the children aren't a good thing, because I have 5. But the real issue here, when you start talking about building and having multiple units, people tend to try to associate that with overloading the school districts, but that's not the case here. So anytime anybody presents that argument, you tell them to put an egg in their shoe and beat it. Okay, because that is not the case here in Linden. We have another unit, condominiums, 90 units over on Elizabeth Avenue that are at 100% capacity, and we have one child in the whole 90 units. We have one child. So, anybody who wants to make the argument that these new buildings that are coming into town are going to overload our school system, it's sheer nonsense, because it's not happening. St. George Avenue, an area on East St. George Avenue, an area that's been economically depressed now for over 30 years. Our groundbreaking for that particular development is going to have 114 units with retail below. Our groundbreaking for that particular project is going to occur on May 16th. So we're looking forward to that. The developer has been waiting for a long time, for over a year and a half now, to get a shovel in the ground, and that's finally going to happen. So we're very excited. The people in that area are very excited. As I mentioned at some of the earlier meetings, the developer is going to provide micro loans to those who are qualified, so that we can have people right from the community who can actually open up the retail space below. So we're very excited about it. We're very excited about the new millennials who are going to move into those areas, and we feel like the apartments above will help feed the retail below. And St. George Avenue is a heavily traversed area, so we feel like any business there will succeed. And last but not least, this month I had council sign off on what we call a community benefit resolution. And what it really means is that anybody who comes to Linden who wants to have new developments that are going to cost over $2 million or more, we're going to hold them and make them responsible to hire a certain percentage of Linden residents who work in our unions. So we think that when we give you incentive to come into town and we create pilot programs, it's a tremendous savings to you. So at the very least, what you should do is take into consideration of hiring our people who live in Linden. We do know that sometimes that union prevailing wage could present problems for people who are struggling and who are trying to get a project off the ground. So part of the resolution, we assign a jobs coordinator. And that jobs coordinator will be responsible for sitting down with the developer and the union reps and trying to find some happy medium and create a situation that's palatable to both sides. Because we certainly don't want anybody to walk away from a project because they can't afford the union wage. So the devil will be in the detail. And this particular resolution, we're going to continue to try to shape it. We're going to try to create some ordinances that will put teeth into the resolution so that it will be beneficial to both the developers and the citizens of our town, the workers, the union workers. And last but not least, I just want to throw in that, and when I sat down with the union workers, we started asking about some of the companies in town and those of you who do hire union workers. And at the top of the list was this company called Phillips 66. They gave you raving reviews, Nancy. Okay, so keep up the good work. They say Phillips 66, they hire all union, and they've never had a problem. They have a very nice and a strong agreement with your company, and they just enjoy working for you. So thumbs up to you, okay? So that's all, folks.
I forgot to mention,
Well, I thought I was going to introduce Kim when we got to the business
Yeah,
proper.
we're going to do that in a minute.
Okay.
Alex, do you have anything to add?
I just want to add, last week during the snowstorm, we had the ribbon cutting of the Jersey Mikes right over here on 1 and 9. Thursday, we have a pre-construction meeting with Walmart. I know that's been getting a lot of curiosity. And we also are looking forward to a Wawa where the existing Exxon is on 1 and 9 and Park Ave. Hopefully in the summer, we can get that groundbreaking. And as the mayor mentioned, the developments on St. George and Wood Ave with VVR and Capadaglia Phase 2, we're hoping to have a groundbreaking in May. And that's pretty much it for now. We do have a lot going on in Linden moving forward, thankfully. Thank you.
Councilman Brown just reminded me to tell everybody that we just introduced our budget. And last year, we eliminated the garbage tax. This year, we introduced a budget, and there's actually an actual tax reduction. And I don't think there's many Democrats or anybody else in the state doing that. It's not a lot. It's a whole $12.77 that you can go out and buy 2 Big Macs. Okay. But it is a reduction, okay? And as you all know, if there's a reduction for the residents, it's a reduction for everybody. So we are encouraging our sisters and brothers over at the county and at Board of Education to sharpen their pencils, because what we're calling for in Linden right now is a tax holiday. Now we know that is very difficult sometimes, but it can be done. So we want everybody to sharpen their pencils and give our residents a break this year. And going forward, we can at least see far enough in the future that we know that we can do it again next year. Not only did we reduce taxes, we increased our surplus by $1.4 million. So anybody says it can't be done, I'll go back to one of these phrases I love so much. Tell them to put an egg in their shoe and beat it. That's all.
Chief Hart, do you have anything for the police report?
Thank you very much, Jen. I wasn't at the last meeting. I just want to bring you up to date on a lot of things going on within the police department. A lot of exciting times now at the LPD. Last year we responded to 67,000 police incidents in the city of Linden. We have hires in progress. We have 9 people in our police academy, and I spoke to the mayor within the last week. We're going to be putting 11 more people into the academy, hopefully for the June class. So we got a lot of good things going on. We have new IT projects within the police department, hiring, some exciting new training going on. And I'd also like to push our public information officer, Lieutenant Gunther. We have an exciting Facebook page. Please sign up for our LPD Facebook, like us. Our PIO is extremely busy daily, and we have a lot of good things continuing. So thank you very much, Janet.
Morning, everyone. Just as a quick public service announcement, some of you may have seen on the news that Kidda's got another big recall on combination smoke detector, carbon monoxide detectors. So I encourage all of you to check, go on the Kidda, K-I-D-D-E website, check to make sure that the stuff you have at home is still not caught in that recall. It also gives me a chance to say, once again, thank you to Phillips 66. We had received a grant from them last year. We just finished training. It was a $70,000 grant that got all of our personnel escape equipment in case they get trapped. We could have done it without their help. We thank you guys again. And if you like his Facebook page, try ours too. Thank you.
Once again, good morning, everybody. We have a saying in my household. Well, the old saying is this: behind every good man is a good woman. But we've more or less modified it, and we don't even use that saying in my house anymore. We say somewhere in the proximity of every good man is a good woman, because we find out that women don't have to be behind us anymore. They can be next to us, they can sometimes in front of us, sometimes they lead the charge. So this morning, we have a good woman who has been leading the charge. She's a former lieutenant governor. She's our first female lieutenant governor. She's actually our first lieutenant governor, period, in New Jersey. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to everyone Kim Guadagno.
You all should give yourselves a round of applause for all the great stuff you're doing here. I really do mean that. The fact that the mayor is able to lower taxes in an environment like this is an amazing feat, and I can only hope that the school follows you so you don't get blamed for any raises in taxes, and the county follows you so you don't get any blamed for all the raises in taxes. I know, and you must know, it's not just the mayor and the councils in your tax bill, it's everybody else's. So I'm convinced you're going to be able to persuade them to do the tax holiday. I think that's a fabulous message to send to all the businesses here in Linden and in Union County and in the state of New Jersey. Also, you know, I got here, you all probably were wondering, you know, how did I get here today? Peter Brown and I ran into the same guy. His name's Bill Spadia, and we do the yin and the yang. In other words, he does the yin and I do the yang, and we sit down and we talk about some of the issues in New Jersey. And Peter said, well, why don't you come and talk to my Chamber of Commerce? And I looked down my list of chambers that I have met with over the years, and I have never been here. So I apologize for that. I've been to the Union County one. I've been to Union County 86 times in my official capacity over 8 years. So, and I've been to Linden just twice. Once was, I believe, to walk through Phillips with a complete hazmat outfit on, and that was a picture. And another, I did not do the ribbon cutting at Blue Apron, but it's nice to see that you're here. I know we work very hard at Blue Apron, but also Northeast Linden, are they here? They were gonna leave the state of New Jersey, and we literally gave them enough credits to make it viable for them to stay here. So we've done a little work in Linden, not enough. It sounds like you guys are doing enough on your own. But Peter came and asked me to talk about, I'd rather talk about what I'm doing now, but I won't. Talk a little bit about what's going on now in New Jersey. What's going to change as a result of this transition? So a couple of things. First, what does the lieutenant governor do? The answer is whatever the governor tells her to do. And it's the same now as it was before. Sheila Oliver is the second lieutenant governor, the first African-American female lieutenant governor New Jersey's ever had. She will be running the Department of Community Affairs, DCA. So you will all be very, very involved in that. I don't know if you were a UEZ. Are you a UEZ? No. You're not? Well, they're going to expand UEZ, so you all should just get a phone call into Sheila Oliver as quickly as possible to make sure Linden gets into that UEZ, because I've heard they're going to expand it. But she's going to now be in charge of the DCA, the commissioner of the DCA, housing, affordable housing, inspections, a whole panoply of things responsible with making the communities better in New Jersey. Then she will be the lieutenant governor, of course, so she stands in for the governor when he leaves. So, like me, when the governor leaves the state of New Jersey, she's the acting governor, she's the DCA commissioner, and she's the lieutenant governor. And as has been the case in the past with me, she has one job. I know she has 3 jobs in that situation and 1 salary. So not right. Especially since the governor just signed the pay equity bill. So I'm going to call Sheila. We've actually met a couple of times since she's been named the lieutenant governor. I'm going to call her and tell her it's time for her to get pay equity, because you shouldn't be doing 3 jobs and getting paid 1 salary. So I was doing the same. I was in charge of business development in New Jersey, and I'm happy to see that they're continuing it. What they call it, I frankly don't care, so long as it continues. For those of you that have ever called my office, and my cell phone number is the same, it is 609-575-8111, even now. You've called my office, I hope, and gotten help. So we had a small business advocate there staying, that we had a business action center, which is a one-stop shop for businesses like you who might need help cutting through some of the bureaucracy on the state level. That's staying. It's now being run by a woman by the name of, that shouldn't surprise any of you, by a woman by the name of Melanie, she was at BIA, Doherty, Melanie Doherty. And she is going to be in charge of the Business Action Center, so that will be staying. And those are the people that are the advocates. So those are the people that once you come to a town or a city and you're having a problem with New Jersey, or you've decided to come to a town and you're having a problem with New Jersey, those are the people that cut through it all. Or I'll give you another example. I didn't hear many car dealerships right here, but if you were having a problem, it regularly happens with the MDC getting all your title work done, you can now still call that group, and that group will help you fix the problem. And the numbers are the same. It's on the website, the Business Action Center, Small Business Planner also. And we also have kept a group called Choose New Jersey, which is the marketing arm of the state of New Jersey. It's a group of business people like PSEG, like New Jersey Gas, like Advanced Realty, like Bernie Flynn at New Jersey Manufacturers, a bunch of business people who want to see New Jersey grow because, quite frankly, it helps their business to see New Jersey grow. Choose New Jersey is the name of the entity, and that will stay the same. So we have the same basic structure. Whether they change a name or not really doesn't matter to me. So long as we continue an entity that responds to your needs as business people, then that's what was important to me. I mean, I worked for 8 years to hopefully make sure people had jobs in New Jersey, and that will continue. So Choose New Jersey is the marketing arm in New Jersey. Go outside of New Jersey, bring companies back. And then bring it back to the Economic Development Authority, which we always called the Bank of New Jersey. That still exists, and that's still very active doing tax credits. I believe Blue Apron got tax credits before they came here to New Jersey. And then you can flip over to the Business Action Center for help if you need it. And that to me is exciting. You know, you get into this business of politics for a lot of different reasons. But the first question somebody asked me after I lost the gubernatorial race was, now what are you gonna do? And they were almost in tears. And, you know, I said to them, I looked them straight in the eye, I said, you know, I was a lawyer for 35 years before I ran for my first public office, right? So I fully intend to go back and do that. I mean, I've made many, many speeches to many, many groups of people where I've always said, I think I'm gonna go over to the high school in a few minutes and say the same thing. Get your best possible education you can so that when you get a chance to serve, you can, and not risk anything. And then when you serve, you can make the decisions that you believe are the right decisions for the right reasons, because what's the worst that can happen? You lose an election, you go back and do what you wanted to do in the first place. And in my case, I did not, having been born in Iowa, wake up in the morning and say, I want to be the governor of the state of New Jersey, or the first lieutenant governor of the state of New Jersey. It didn't exist. In fact, my mother, when I became the lieutenant governor of New Jersey, finally said I lived in New Jersey. It took her that long to spit out the words, my daughter lives in New Jersey. But the fact of the matter is, if you go in with the idea that you want to do something, and the mayor knows this, and Peter Brown knows this, and actually the leaders of this volunteer group, I don't think you get paid a lot of money. I'll double your salary if you do. They do it for the right reasons. They do it because they believe that they can add something to their community. So I got involved in my little tiny town, nonpartisan town in Monmouth Beach, because something made me mad with my kids. 2 years later, I became the sheriff, first woman sheriff in Monmouth County. Yeah, that was a fun job. That usually gets everybody's attention. Really, you don't look like a sheriff. And then that gets a whole conversation. Yeah, in Monmouth County. 670,000 residents, and I ran the jail, the 911 communication center, and 110 guys and girls on the ground. And yeah, I had a Smith & Wesson. Yeah, I had a bulletproof vest, because yeah, I was the highest ranking elected law enforcement official in the county. And then I had a chance to become the lieutenant governor, and you know, who says no to that question? Would you like to become the first lieutenant governor of the state of New Jersey? How do you say no to that? You don't. And who knew? We weren't supposed to win. And in fact, when you go back to 2009 and you look at the numbers, we didn't get 50% of the vote. That independent candidate flipped off some of the Democrat vote, which really messed up Governor Corzine. I mean, that's what happened. And then 8 years later, you get a chance to do something nobody else has ever done. No lieutenant governor has ever run for governor. Well, you take your shot. And I did. And I still look back without any regrets, because I loved every single minute of those 8 years. Every time anybody called me on the cell phone, whether it was Subaru saying they're moving out of the state of New Jersey, whether it was any of you here who ever called to say they couldn't get through unemployment because they didn't have the secret sauce number that I had, or whether it was a fireman. I went to the convention a couple of years in a row and had a blast talking to volunteer firemen, giving each one of them my cell phone number. And yes, it was their convention, so after about 11 o'clock at night, I had to turn the phone off for all the reasons you can think of. But they called when they needed me. You know, zipping through an easy pass with a truck and a fire engine to a call, these guys would get charged. And there was no way they could get off their easy pass, because nobody answers the phone at easy pass. In fact, they didn't answer the phone for me. I had to go all the way over to easy pass and say, hello, I'm the lieutenant governor. Can you just take this emergency fee off of the chief of the fire department's easy pass bill, those kinds of things. That's why we do what we do. Not every day is a great day. And we could spend another hour on that, and I won't. But you look back and you get a phone call on Palm Sunday 6 years ago from a mother who's standing in an emergency room, having just seen her daughter revived for like the third time with Narcan. She says, I can't find a bed for my daughter. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. I said, I can't get anybody on the phone right now. Give me 2 hours. And we found her a bed. That's why you do this. That's why I did it. And I'm very proud of our record with business, but I'm more proud of the record of the things that none of you know about. So I enjoyed the last 8 years. This is part of what I call my thank you tour. Thank you for everything that you do. Keep it up. I see Linden is under great control and understands the need to create commercial and residential and the balance that is needed to continue increasing rateable so you can continue to lower your property taxes and your taxes in general. You're on the right path. And so is New Jersey, because they're keeping all of the things in New Jersey that will make your lives better. So I thank you very much for having me. I can take a question or two until Peter Brown tells me it's time to go. And there's a question, always a question in the back, yes?
Yes, with the recent influx of entertainment business and business going into politics, what do you think that's saying to the politician right now?
Say that again, I didn't hear that.
With the influx of people outside of politics, business owners, entertainment people getting into politics, what do you think that's saying to the politicians today?
I think they're game on. They have competition. You know, elections have consequences, and I think the one thing you can say generally in a good way is that over the last couple of years, whether you liked what was going on in Washington or not, we certainly have engaged. We've engaged the millennials, we've engaged the children, and people now understand that if you have a choice to run to fix things, you better run and fix things or sit down and shut up. I mean, that's really what it is, because last year in the gubernatorial election, less than 2.5 million people voted out of a possible 6. That's not right. I think that will change. And so I believe what we're seeing now, and forget political persuasion, this doesn't have anything to do, I mean, it just doesn't. The fact that women are willing to stand up and say out loud what happened to them, children are willing to go and protest gun laws, all of that is good for us. I think that's democracy in action. I think we needed a little adjustment, and we're sure getting it. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a son that's in high school, and obviously every day I send him to school now, you know, I have a knot in the pit of my stomach. Do you feel like that I really hope that the powers that be there really open their eyes and try to do something. I'm really proud of the kids, and I think that's amazing that they're really trying to do something, and I'm hoping that's finally going to do something. But I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I just feel like so much more should be done, and I don't know why they're not taken seriously enough. Why does it take more kids to be killed before they want to do something? And I know it's a gun issue and stuff, but I think they all need to
Yeah, but
be
it's
together.
not a gun issue, is it?
No, I don't think
I mean,
so.
it's really not a gun issue. I have a 17-year-old. Well, I had 3 kids go through school. One's now an F-16 fighter pilot, so I'm not too worried about him. He's going to be bombing the bad guys pretty soon. And another one is graduating from college and actually has a job. I'm very proud of him. That's a shock. And then my 17-year-old is challenged. And he's not going to college, but he is going to high school every day, and you worry about them every day. Yesterday, I believe the Assembly and the Senate passed 6 gun bills. I haven't, frankly, paid that much attention. You know, I kind of turned it off. I kind of turned off some of that politics, but in New Jersey, we're really very lucky. And because we have very strong bullying laws, and the chief will tell you this already, they have very strong bullying laws. They're very active in the community in terms of gun safety, either with these new rules or even with the old rules. In New Jersey, we have the 3rd most restrictive gun laws in the country, probably now the 2nd, maybe even the 1st behind Denver with Columbine, and Connecticut with Sandy Hook. So we were there anyway. Anything we can do to protect our children, I'm all in for. Florida, on the other hand, where the Parkland shootings occurred, you've all read what's going on. You know, can a sheriff's officer really stand outside and not engage? Did that really happen? And if so, why did it happen? A lot of unanswered questions there. But also, they had very loose gun laws. And I personally, even though I have, look, I'm an A rating from the NRA. I do. But I was the sheriff of Monmouth County. What do you expect? Right? I carried a gun. I understand gun safety. That gun was never in my house. And it was never unlocked, because I couldn't shoot straight, quite frankly, and I thought it was dangerous. And you know what? When you use a gun, I don't need to tell you, the chief of police is sitting here. When you use a gun in the law enforcement arena, you better be willing to kill somebody. And I wasn't. But that doesn't mean that we can't fix it on a national basis. It's not just get rid of the AR-15s, which personally I don't believe have any, other than sport, maybe at a gun show or at a shooting gallery, I just don't get it. How can a kid get an AR-15? And why didn't we have mental health checks? We need to do better. And hopefully on a national basis we will, but I know we are here in New Jersey and there's some money set aside for that. So that's the hopeful thing. I don't think in New Jersey we can take the position just bad things happen, because in New Jersey we know better than that. The old see something, say something needs to occur everywhere. And zero tolerance is good. You come into a high school with a knife, you're out. Done. And that's the way it should be. Putting guns in the hands of teachers in a classroom, I think, is asking them far too much. That is not what they were trained to do. That is not what they need to do. But putting guns in the hands of a resource officer, that one's a better call. But also we need to ramp up our, responsiveness. The FBI knew about this kid, right? So that's
we'll
my
take one more
personal
question.
opinion. There's one over here.
Just, I want to thank you for advance. My son is an ROTC student.
Ah, good.
Speaking to
What
him this morning.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
Yes, and he told me, he was so excited. He goes, we're having a lieutenant governor come.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
A mother first, right?
Question for you. What is your stance on legalizing marijuana?
Absolutely not. And in my opinion, and I will tell you why. Because that 17-year-old I talked about is in and out of recovery 4 times already. And he started with marijuana. And 3 months, and I did not talk about it on the campaign trail for obvious reasons. It's not my story to tell. But you want to know why I'm against legalizing marijuana? Because he comes home every day from his recovery high school and says, I can't wait to legalize marijuana so I can come home and get high. I'm like, really? Because there's the door. The second you come into my house high, talk to any law enforcement officer. Do you know what your chief of police will have to do if he pulls somebody over he thinks is high? In order to test to see whether or not he's high, skip the more than just a whiff thing, he's going to have to call a judge. He's going to have to get a search warrant for a blood test. He's going to have to get somebody out to draw the blood. And then he's going to have to make a decision when he gets the blood test back about whether that kid was driving high. The National Association of Drug Enforcement Officers just issued a report on the other states that have legalized marijuana, and it's a disaster. Pull it up and look at it. You will never convince me as a mother that it's not a gateway drug. I've seen too much of it. That having been said, if my kid had seizures and needed medical marijuana, I would want my kid to get medical marijuana. And there is actually a case on the books right now, and I know because my husband wrote the opinion. He's a retired judge now. There is a case on the books right now where a mother needed to provide medical marijuana to her daughter for seizures, and because it was a Schedule I drug, she couldn't go to school and do it, and no one at the school would do it in New Jersey. So what would have to happen is the daughter would have to be taken from the school off and outside of the drug-free zone around the school, provided her medical marijuana, and then take it back to school. That's ridiculous. It's a medical condition. That, by the way, saves lives. And if you've talked to anybody on medical marijuana, you'll know it saves lives. It takes you off steroids that are killing you. It helps seizures. It makes your end-of-life choices easier. And in many cases, it is a lifesaver. So I don't have any objection to increasing the availability of medical marijuana. But legalizing marijuana, and even the discussion of legalizing marijuana, is causing problems, at least in my own home. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of people fighting over that in Trenton. So that's always a fun debate, right, Peter? Didn't you go and testify this week?
No, I haven't today.
Oh, you're testifying today? Against it?
Yes.
Just check. I'm going to make him go on record right now. All right. I'm going to go over to the high school. They've been very kind to invite me over as part of Women's History Month and talk to the kids. But in case you're worried about whether or not I'm going to talk politics, I'm going to talk the sheriff's the sheriff's job, because that's the one that teaches people they can be whatever they want to be. Because when you always look at me and say, you were the sheriff, that starts that conversation. Really, why can't I be the sheriff? So I'm going to go over and tell them to get the best possible education they can, because if you get a chance to do something, to have the kind of life I've had so far, you should do it. And just for the record, I will become a partner in a law firm maybe 4 weeks from now. It's time to go back to work. My husband's sick of me. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, we'll get back on track. School report, Bill?
As you can see, we all have our IDs on. We started that years ago. So what's really going to happen with the new protocols that I have here is that, everybody coming into the schools now will have to be scheduled. Okay, so a parent saying, oh, I'm here to pick up my student isn't going to work. You're going to have to call before to get permission. So when you walk up to the door, we kind of are expecting you and we know who's coming. Okay, so that's like a simple one. You know how many parents just say, oh, we have a doctor's appointment, and try and get into school, right? We also work hard with the kids to make sure they do not open doors now. Okay, it's not acceptable. Okay, we've had police officers in the school already. We have crisis intervention, and now we have secretaries. We're making changes to our school where we're going to have windows like bank tellers. So you can't even get in until you're already at the bank teller. And then she's going to ask the same protocol for all of the schools. Now, it's not easy when you think about it for even our high school is, we have students going back and forth and things like that. So it's difficult, but we can do it, and we are doing it. And we're going to make some great changes. All right? The main thing is we're going to do is IDs for everybody coming into the building. So if you walk in and you're a parent and you need to meet with guidance, you think a guidance office needs to have people there all the time, your parent is going to have an ID on. Okay, you think about deliveries to the cafeteria. All those people will need IDs. None of those doors will be open until they make the delivery, then that door is closed. So for Linden, we always work pretty cutting edge, and now we have new protocols going district-wide. And we had a whole meeting on it yesterday. I had lots of more reports there. So that's we're very lucky in Linden there. So I was going to go last, but I'll cover it first. So I want to thank the Chamber for their support as usual. You help with your money financially in our launches and getting good team spirit for everybody, for the whole district. So we appreciate all the businesses doing with that. We appreciate that you help us during the year when we come to you, okay? I'm going to hit you with an advertisement at the end, so hopefully you can share and help us again. And then at the end, you also help with scholarships. Every little bit helps these students, and they appreciate it. And your scholarships are significant. So I'll see you at the dinner, and we appreciate everything you do for the students. Any information that you need from the school, you can always reach it. All you need to do is, you have to give Google a plug. Just go to Google, Linden Board of Ed. We're the first ones there. And then you can go right to our website. And then our website over on the left, you can find anything you need in the district. Okay, so if you need to find me, you would just say email, high school students, all the schools there. And then you can find our webpage, which all the great things that our students are doing. I know we were in a little bit lengthy, so I'll go a little bit quicker. So 2 wonderful points we have. Okay, so the first thing is our basketball teams and our winter sports did terrific. And we just read in the paper today, Tavon Jones is a #1 player in the state there, first team All-State. Okay, and we're very proud because that's a public school. Everybody else is on a private or Catholic school there. So we're very proud of our teams and everything they do year in and year out. So congratulations to one of our top players in the state. I also, on another note with Tavon, he's part of our ambassadors. He's a wonderful kid. He does terrific when he helps everybody in the school with bringing everybody around. So he's not only a great athlete, he's also wonderful. And all of our students are like that. Okay, really top-notch kids. Okay, hopefully he's going to get into a great school. I'm sure he will. Yep, I'm almost there. Yep. Okay. The last thing is with the safety of the school. You have to think about it is, so I know like if you take my town with the safety is, our track is right near the school and a lot of people pay taxes. And so it's a big picture that we have to worry about the safety. So if you pay taxes and you're older and you're a senior citizen, you'd like to walk on that track because it's soft, right? So now how does the school really deal with that safety issue of that track with senior citizens not having IDs and things like that? So it's a really, really big picture with our safety, but we can do it. So like I know in my district, they're trying to figure out at home what they're gonna do with that track with people being on there. So it's a bigger issue, so we still have a ways to go, and I'm sure it will be growing. But knowing Linden that everybody is safe. Okay, so thanks again, and then my last commercial is we have a Tricky Tray April 21st, so June has the tickets if you'd like to buy them, all right? They're $10, $15 at the door, so we appreciate that. And then the last thing is a little plug for our business department, okay? We, you know, our DECA competition where the students compete in business, okay? We have 2 state champions in entrepreneurship, which we're pretty proud of. Okay, Carolina Butchkowitz and Isabella Dubiel. They won an entrepreneurial. They'll be going to nationals down in Georgia, so that's exciting. And what they did was they have like a chair for babies. You know, when you go into the supermarket, they sit in that grate, you know, the grate. So they invented this whole product, which is going to be goes into that shopping cart, and it's transferable. And they loved it, so they were state champs. So we're very proud of our business department and everything you do. So once again, to the chamber, thank you so much for everything you do. Oh, sorry. The bowling team was fantastic too this year, just so you know. They were state champs too. Go ahead. Is that the plug?
No, I just had a question about your safety. When you're saying that the doors aren't going to be locked and everyone has to call ahead of time, are there going to be metal detectors put into the school as part of this safety, or you're starting at this point?
So we actually had our meeting. We're starting April 9th with the new protocols. In that meeting, we're still developing. Nothing was mentioned about any kind of metal gates or anything like that. Not to say it's not going to happen. And what they were saying is we're evolving. In other words, like some schools might need that, some might not, based on different things you can imagine. So no, they did not talk about that, but it's ongoing, and we're growing and we're learning.
And the protocols, is this just for the high school, or is this going to be for all the schools in Linden?
That's what great.
And will it be on the website so that parents can visibly see it?
Yes, it's going to be on the website. It's going to go out to everyone, and the protocol is going to be district-wide. That's really the big thing now, because you can imagine the high school is kind of dealing with it, and then McManus would deal with it. So the protocol is going to be district-wide, and exactly how everybody is addressed when they come to the door will be the same. And you have to state your nature of business, and the IDs will be given out. So all that will be the same at every school, which kind of is, you know, really makes sense. We were probably doing it anyway, but we're just going to confirm. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning. Our big fundraiser of the year for the Friends of the Library is our book sale. So it's going to be this year from April 18th to 21st. The first day is a preview night for Friends of the Linden Library members only, and then the Thursday and Friday it's from 10 to 4, and Saturday is bag day. It's 10 to 1. We are still accepting items, so if you have books, DVDs, things you're looking to get rid of, you could bring in the library for the book sale. We don't accept encyclopedias and magazines or VHS tapes, things that won't sell, but we're still accepting them. For April is National Poetry Month, and we're having a program on that on April 11th at 7 p.m. There's some Linden High School students who are going to be presenting poems, so everyone is invited. April 9th, there's going to be a War of the Worlds presentation. Everyone's familiar with this story, War of the Worlds, and there's a group that will come and act it out in costume. That's 7 o'clock on April 9th, so we're hoping for a big turnout for that. There is a beginner's genealogy program April 25th at 6:30 p.m. and also April 23rd, 1 o'clock p.m. and 6:30 p.m. How Money Works seminar. Thank you.
Mike and Linda, Tina Renner?
Oh, no, okay. April issue will be out on Friday. We're now working on our May issue. If anyone would like to get any information out to the public for May, please send it by April, let's say 15th, tax day. You can remember that. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tina. All right, again, we'd like to thank Mayor Armstead for a lovely breakfast and for hosting this meeting this morning. Thank you, Mayor. So do we have other new business?
June?
I just wanted to add that tomorrow evening is the ETT Women, Entrepreneurial Think Tank for Women. We're actually going to have our meetings monthly at Three Amicis. So it's going to be local. That's tomorrow evening at 6:30.
Where is this at? Can't hear you.
Amicis, not Amicis.
Three Amicis, right, the ETT Women at Three Amicis for tomorrow evening at 6:30. Also just want to say on April the 19th, as the Kiwanis Club of Linden, we are meeting at School 4 for a luncheon. And so if anyone wants to know more about Kiwanis, the involvement, to me, we teach community service and leadership to the great kids, which is fabulous to start. So if anyone wants to attend that luncheon, kindly let me know. Thank you.
Is that a luncheon, June, you said?
Yes, on April the 19th.
Do we have any other new business? Okay. Yeah, I know we have a lot of new people here, and we usually give them a little time to speak. How many new people do we have today? Just so I can see if we have time to. Oh, all right, so there's not a lot, so quickly.
Well, I'm not a member yet, I'm a guest, so.
Okay, well, you can say who you are quickly.
Robert, OSI Technology, Business Technology Service.
In the back, there were some people.
Scott, on the mark payments, based out of Clark, New Jersey.
Phyllis Dunlop, CASA of Union County.
Device Singh, General Manager, County Board Hotel.
Melissa Honahan, Cristo Ray, Newark. The model of the school is the students go to school 4 days a week and they work in a business the other day of the week for all 4 years of high school.
Hi everybody, Isaiah Menendez from Scaldino Basement. Again, we focus on basement waterproofing and foundation repairs.
Deborah Anderson, Future Ways Marketing. We do appointment setting. Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Gateway Regional Chamber updates? Jim Crow?
So I want to welcome everyone today. On your table, there's a purple sheet with all of our upcoming events. So I'm not going to go into those in real detail, but there are 3 events that I want to talk about today. The first one is actually an event that is already passed. A week and a half ago, we had our annual Business Educator Breakfast. I think, as all of you know, education and appropriate education is very important to the membership of the Gateway Chamber. And so each year we put on a breakfast to introduce educators and students to business people to have them network. And the reason that I'm bringing this up, even though it's already passed, is to just let you know how disappointed I am in all of you for not attending. We had this year over 80 educators and students. We had less than 20 businesses that were there. Infinium, Phillips were both sponsors of the event, and they were there. It's an excellent event. And before the event, I sent out an email from me, not from Gateway, to all of you, telling you how important this was. So, you know, if you don't want me to give this talk again next year when I send this email out, please sign up and come. It's really important for educators to get an idea of what is actually required in the workplace and what kind of opportunities there are out there. And we spend a lot of time putting these programs together, and it's a really good event. So again, I would appreciate if you would take the time to attend. Second event is coming up really soon. April 12th is our annual Mayor's Dinner. That will be at the Renaissance Hotel on Route 1 and 9 in Elizabeth. Starts at 6 p.m. This is the annual event where we honor all 21 mayors of Union County. We do that by letting each of them speak for 5 minutes. We hold them very strictly to that 5-minute limit. We have a timer, we have a gong that goes off, Years ago, I had to chase John Gregorio around the table twice to get the mic back from him when the gong went off. Mayor Armstead has never been gonged.
Yes, he
was. But at this event, we also named the Mayor of the Year, and Mayor Armstead is one of the nominees this year. So if you want to find out if he wins or not, come to that dinner. It's actually very fast-paced. We are done and out, guaranteed by 9 o'clock. I was at an event a week ago. It was 9:30 and the food hadn't come out yet. It was an Irish event. There was lots of other things to partake in, but not very much food. So the third event that I want to mention, and Gail mentioned this already briefly, but that is the Metropolitan Women's Leadership Summit, which is coming up on June 1st. That is an event that Gateway is organizing with a number of other organizations. It is going to be an all-day event. We expect over 700 women to attend, and we will have over 50 speakers between the keynotes and all of the breakout sessions. So it's going to be a really high-powered event, a lot of excitement and enthusiasm about it. So for the women in the room, sign up. It's going to be a great event. Any questions? Yes?
For the women's event, do you need to be a member of each chamber that's participating?
No, this is open to everyone.
Okay, great. And a sense of the registration cost?
Tickets are going to be $195, and it will include breakfast and lunch, and then a reception afterwards. So it's going to be a full-day event, as I say. Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay, our next meeting will be Tuesday, April 24th, hosted by Jacqueline Jenkins from Morning Star, and it will be at the Morning Star Christian Center on Chandler Avenue. Anybody have anything to add before I motion to adjourn? Art?
Just a couple of quick things.
Yes, quickly.
Linden Rotary Satellite is still continuing, meeting the first and third Wednesdays, 8 a.m. over at Starbucks Aviation Plaza. I was asked by some members of the chamber here if we would have a group of scouts. That's what I do, take on the maintenance of a monument. Our Sea Scout ships have agreed to take that on, so they'll be taking care of the monument for one of the founding fathers of Linden, making sure it's maintained and all of that. So that's happening. And also just wanting to say about doing business here in town, we are hosting the Linden JROTC for their retreat. They're coming to our camp, so we're going to have 200 of those students coming for 2 days at our camp up in Stanhope. So, thank you.
All right. Motion to adjourn? Second. All in favor? Have a wonderful day. Thank you all for coming. Meeting is adjourned.